and welcome to the next training section, how to make your class. Now this is so exciting, and I'm going to take you from start to finish how to create your class and upload it to Outschool. So let's jump into it. The first place I start is the class requests. So I'm going to switch you to my computer right now so you can see what I'm looking at. Outschool sends this every Sunday. These are straight requests from students and parents. Like, it's insane. Like, there are so many requests. But I found one that I wanted to do. So you can pick any of these, and of course, if none of these tickle your fancy, you can create your own. It seriously doesn't matter. But if you're like really lost, or you're not sure what you want to teach, or you just want to like get the hang of it first, this is a great place to start. So I'm gonna find, where's the class I wanted to teach? I went through this and I saw one and I was like, that sounds fun. Aha. Parks and Rec, talking about Leslie Knope and stuff for age 11. So, offer class. You just hit offer class. It takes you to here. So, you're going to make a class title. I'm just going to call it Parks and Rec Fan Discussion Group. I have two others like that, a Harry Potter one and an Office one. So you want to make sure the title is like easily searchable. So like, someone does want a class about Parks and Rec, they're going to type in Parks and Rec. They're not going to type in Chris Pratt, or, that would be a great class. Love Chris Pratt. Nothing creative. You really want to be straightforward in your titles, like to the point, and be as descriptive as possible. Like Parks and Rec Fan Discussion Group. I mean, obviously you know what that is. It's about Parks and Rec, the fans discussing it. Not like Tom's totally cool treat yourself fans. No one's going to be searching that. No one's going to be wanting to take a class on that. Like, what even is that? So you can have cutesy titles, but I would make it basic, straight to the point. It's going to get the most search results, and more people are going to be able to find your class easier. So after that, you just hit next, and it's going to take you to the basics. So you're going to do your title, which you already did, then a summary, and a subject, and we'll fill this out in a minute, but I want to take you to the course types. There are 4 course types: one-time, multi-day, ongoing, flexible schedule. Now, since I'm assuming you're watching this because this is your first time making a class and stuff like that, I highly suggest one-time class. Why? Because they're the simplest to do. They're the easiest to get approved through Outschool. So after you fill all this stuff out, you will send it to Outschool, and they will approve it, or they will send you an email back saying, hey, you need to change this, there's copyright images in your course image, or you didn't explain enough in your description, stuff like that. So it's much easier to do a one-time course, and since you're new, you don't have any reviews yet, you don't have any students that have signed up before, so it's a great way for parents and students to see what you're all about, see what your teaching style is like, and get some reviews under your belt before you start doing these bigger classes. Now, I have like one ongoing, one going. Right now, I don't have flexible schedule, and I don't have multi-day. I'm not even going to explain what these 3 are right now. It's too much to get into. We're just going to focus on one-time classes for the purpose of time, and because this is your first class, this is really, I highly suggest you do this one just to start with. You can definitely add on the others later, but do one time first, again, to get reviews under your belt and just to make it easier on you, man, okay? Just to get used to how to start a class, how to write one, and all that fun stuff. So, anyway, I kind of explain it. Classes meet by video chat one single time. Discussion may occur by messaging on the classroom page before or after class. I'll show you what that is later. But yeah, so I'm gonna fill this stuff out. It's very basic, to the point. Outschool really lays it out for you. So add a single sentence or phrase to describe your class. The summary should be clear and descriptive rather than a teaser, and include keywords so parents can find your class easily. Use no more than one exclamation mark and no emojis. Yes. So, yeah, just make it clear, to the point, very descriptive, you know, just to the point. Parents are more likely to book you the more information you give, and you'll give way more information in the description, but you know, you don't want to make it weird. You don't want to be like, find out what this class is. Like, no one's going to sign up for that shit, okay? you want to make it very clear that this is a discussion group. So give me 2 minutes. I'm going to write a quick summary about this and we will move on. So I just kind of wrote a quick summary real quick. It's, you know, to the point. So we will discuss our favorite characters, episodes, and moments on the show Parks and Rec. Besides discussing the show, there will also be trivia questions for the students to answer. So you just kind of want to give a rundown of other things that you'll have in your class. On my Harry Potter class, I have trivia. I also have a sorting hat quiz where we find out what house we belong in. Fun stuff like that. You could do a character quiz. You can do like games. There's a ton of different stuff that you can do. It could also just be a lecture class where you just have a PowerPoint and you go through, you know, things that you want to go through. It does not matter. It's totally up to you. I'm just giving you an example. So under this, choose a subject. So it needs to be, you know, to whatever you're talking about. So I choose arts for these types of things because, I mean, it doesn't really fall under life skills or math or music or anything like that. It's just kind of like, you know, kind of an elective type class. But of course, if you're teaching about math, you're going to choose math, or science, you're going to choose science and stuff. I also put the age up here because I want my age group to be displayed in the title, just so it's easier for parents to see that. So you choose one time because that's the type of class that we're doing. Image and video. So you're going to do a course image. I have a whole video about that. So definitely check that out. Lots of tips and tricks in that video, so definitely check that out for this image. And then video. This is optional, but highly recommended. Definitely do a video. It gives the parents and students a taste for what your class is about, and it's, you know, they're much more likely to watch a 30-second video of you explaining it rather than just reading it. Plus they get a taste for your personality and how you teach and stuff like that. So I have a friend who didn't have a video, and she had some, you know, traffic to her classes, but not a ton, and then after she did a video, it exploded. So I would definitely do a video. I would not do a video. So under that, course format, so age group, my little person requested 11, so I do 11 to 13. They kind of explain the age group here. You do not exceed 5 years. So, and students are, you know, they're more likely to join a class if it's closer to their age group. So I typically keep it between 2 and 3 years. You know, maybe for like, I thought about maybe making this to 14-year-olds, but I don't know. If I was 11, I wouldn't want a 14-year-old in my class. That's how, just kind of how I think when I was that age. You know, and if I was 9, I absolutely would not want a 15-year-old in my class, you know, but if I was 15, I wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But definitely be mindful of your younger students. So I just keep it, you know, 2 to 3 years to 11 to 13. Class size. So again, read for, you know, what Outschool recommends. Especially for discussion classes, I don't make it past 6 learners just because I want to have enough time to do everything, and I want to have enough time for everyone to talk. Plus I find that in discussion classes, there's always one person who really likes to talk. So anyway, I cap it at 6 just so it's manageable for me. You can definitely make it 18 if you want. You can make it 2 or 1. You can definitely play around with this. You know, I might test it with 8. And this is the class minimum. So yeah. Course duration. So you've already chosen this. It's 1 time, and the course will meet live 1 time per week. So this is how long you want your class to be. And also it says 1 time per week. That just, you can offer this class as many times as you want. Like my Harry Potter class is a 1-time class, and I offer it every day, sometimes twice a day. So this is just, this sentence is just just for this one specific class. So all the people who meet in this class are not going to meet again later in the day, and they're not going to meet again later in the week or anything like that. But you can offer this class multiple times in one day during the week. I hope that makes sense. Just ignore that, really. But yeah, and then I like to keep it around 45 minutes. But again, you can offer this class as many times as you want in the same day. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So now the really long part. Description. So I am not going to write this right now. Just not. But definitely read through it. So explain additional class details that a parent might want. So you're going to go into more detail about what your class is about. Just like it says, for a half-hour class, a few sentences is sufficient. Minor, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs. It's not long at all, and like it says for semester-long classes, so there's other types, you have to be super detailed. So don't worry about any of that right now. Just write maybe a paragraph or 2, and I just answer these questions. Just answer these questions exactly to what it is. You know, how do you teach? You know, what's your teaching style? You know, I'm very laid back. I like to make sure everyone has a turn. How's your class structured? We will go over through a PowerPoint, you know, talking about, you know, Andy and April and then blah, blah, blah. So any experience, you know, you need to watch Parks and Rec. No, that's what we're talking about. So yes, I just literally just answer all these, and then I finagle it to where it sounds, where it's easy to read, nice to read. Does that make sense? So learning goals. So this is optional, but I always fill it out. Again, the more information you give, the more likely parents are likely to book your class, because they want to know what they're paying for. They want to know what their student is learning. So the more the better. For discussion classes, I typically put something like students will basically learn how to public speak. Like, we'll get used to talking in front of groups of people, in front of their peers and you know, adults and stuff like that, or gain confidence speaking in front of others. That's pretty much my goal for my discussion groups, and your goals can be anything. Now, what I did, because I was really stumped on this, especially with my Harry Potter class, I look at other teachers' profiles. I look at other classes that are offered, because you can totally go and, you know, search whatever you want on the platform. Now, do I copy them? No, do not copy anyone. Don't fucking copy anyone. Excuse my language, but don't copy anyone. I like to see what their goals are. You know, maybe I can incorporate that. It gives me inspiration and a different perspective of what I want to include in my class, and it just, you know, helps me write this out. So I want to be clear, I don't copy anybody, but I do check on, you know, I like to get other perspectives, other inspirations for other teachers, because people are smart. So yeah, I always fill out learning goals. Homework, I don't do any homework, but you can if you want. I wouldn't, only because I'm lazy and that sounds like a lot of work on you. But if you're someone who's like, yes, homework, you can explain it all here if you want to do homework. Again, why? But if you're that person, go for it. Live your best life. Assessments. So how the learner is progressed, assessed. Is there a written grade, a written report? So if you do want to do an assessment saying, you know, Jimmy did a great job in class today. He, you know, talked about Andy and April's relationship well. It was awesome. You can say assessments will be done prior, you know, after class and sent in an email to the parents, something like that. So for me, I just say none. None. But if these things tickle your fancy and you're like, yes, homework, yes, assessments, go for it. But you don't if you don't want to, and I absolutely don't want to. So next class, optional. So I always just put, you know, this is a great way to mark it. So after they take this class, you can have another one lined up for them to take, or to offer for them. So I always put like my Harry Potter one or something like that, just so that they can sign up for it. So additional notes, outside work, 0. Parental guidance, Again, all this is optional, but the more info, the better. So, if there's content appropriate or for mature students that parents may be sensitive to, please identify it here. For this, I would say parents, I would say something along the lines of, since Parks and Rec is more of a mature show and these are 11-year-olds and 13-year-olds, I would say something along the lines of, as long as you're good with your students watching Parks and Rec, you should be good with this class. Sources, so books, article, websites, or other sources. I don't put anything. If I have a PowerPoint, I just use Google Slides, and you don't need to put that in here, it's fine. So teacher expertise. So for subjects like religion or, you know, anything sexual or mental health, fitness, stuff like that, something you need to actually prove that you are certified to teach on this. I'm definitely not, and honestly, I don't want to. I like to keep my classes fun and light, but if you're someone who's like, no, we're gonna talk about the dark things, or we're gonna have a sex ed class, you would definitely need to fill this out. But for me and my little stupid Parks and Rec class, I don't have to, so I don't. So external resources. So again, I don't use any, but you can if you want. And for your first class, I wouldn't. Definitely for your first class, just get used to how things are done. Don't get into all this stuff. For enrolled learners, so this is a welcome post. So you're just gonna, this is the email that gets sent to the parents once they sign up for your class. It's also on the classroom page, which I'll show you the classroom page in a minute. But yeah, I just say something about welcome, and I kind of reiterate the stuff that I've mentioned before. Like, I kind of talk about how class is done, and I talk about you know, if they need anything. For example, in my Harry Potter class, they need a pen and paper for the quiz, their sorting hat quiz. For this, I would say no materials needed. Just be sure that you're okay with your student watching Parks and Rec, since this is a Parks and Rec discussion fan class. You know, just reiterate that again. So pricing. Oh, and you can add stuff. So if you made like, I don't know, like a PowerPoint or some homework stuff, you can add it here, and that's all fun and dandy. Again, that's an optional thing, but you definitely have to fill out the welcome post. So pricing, you can make the price whatever you want. For a class like this, a 45-minute discussion class, mine are always $10 at least. I have some that are $13, $15. I have a friend who has a failure to success class that she makes $25 per student. So it just depends on what the content is and what you feel comfortable pricing. If it's 30 minutes, 30-ish minutes or below, I would say $6 or $7 or below. And anything higher, you know, like I just said, like a 45-minute class, I would definitely do anywhere from $8 to $10. Parents are used to seeing classes priced anywhere from $10 to $15, so, you know, whatever you feel comfortable with. And please keep in mind that Outschool takes 30% of whatever you earn, because they advertise for you, because they run Facebook ads for you, and you use their platform to do all the classes. They take 30% for all that, and they kind of just give you an estimated earnings of what you can make. So that's like if 2 people sign up, that's if you get max out the class, and that's after the 30% fee. So yes, a refund my god, I've been talking for a long time. A refund policy. So all one-time classes have a standard refund policy, full refund until a week in advance or within 24 hours of purchase. I haven't had to refund anyone so far, so you probably won't have to worry about that for a while, but if you ever do, you can look into it on Outschool. So that was a full rundown on how to make a class. Don't forget to check out the other video about how to make your course image, and don't forget to make a video for your course, which I'm also going to have a video about on this page. So yeah, again, I hope that was helpful. It does take a minute, especially when you're first starting. Sorry, I have a hair on my face. To fill out all that stuff. Again, don't overthink it, just get it over with, okay? That's my motto in life. Just get shit done. Turn it in, be done with it, or else it's just gonna sit there forever. So I urge you to just go ahead, knock it out. If you're like me and you're like, I have to type this prettily, It will take you a little bit, because it takes me a little bit to write it all nice, but anyway, that is how to do it. Again, look for the how to make a course image and how to make a course video for marketing. Both those things are super important for marketing because that's what Outschool takes to show the parents to get them into your class. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video.